All right. We are back. This is part 2, 52 frames screencast. Screencast photo critique series. Pending title.
Name?
No, pending title. Working title. Where we take photos from the most recent 52 frames album, give it some critiques. I am joined here this week with my good friend Yirmiyahu Vann. You can find his amazing work at vanvisuals.com. He also gives a course in Jerusalem, Israel, where we are based, which is called the Jerusalem Photo Institute, where he focuses on studio portraiture, outdoor portraiture, and indoor studio.
And just learning things that most photographers, complete packages. A lot of photographers don't ever have a chance to learn.
He does the complete package.
Whoa.
Okay. What? Welcome to this.
It's funny. Every time we start, it seems to take a 2 minute.
I thought we would do it quicker this time. All right. So here, let's go. Our first photo. We haven't been calling out the names of the people.
Bridget Maggie.
I believe she's based in California. This is
California.
Brilliant. I just love this, with just to get this shot, the timing of it, the wingspan, you don't have the wings, cropped at all.
Yes.
I like that the bird is at an angle. You get the sense of movement. You get this beautiful depth of field here with these wooden pikes. It's just gorgeous. And we're just playing, and this is good cop, bad cop. So on the Yirmiyahu.
I was just wondering if we can bring up the metadata.
I think it's flawless. Yirmi, what do you think?
Could we bring up the metadata and see the focal length?
That is a good question. Metadata. See, I asked people in this project for their EXIF data, and they get all like, oh my god, that's such a. But here in Bridge we have file info. You can actually
there we go.
You can actually do it on in Explorer. Let's see if I could this is like a decent thing to show here.
Just in the properties.
Even in Explorer, you can go to properties on any file name. Not all of them, but most of them. You can actually get details here.
Not on this one.
Not on this one. You can forget everything that I'm saying.
And by the way, for those that don't know, if you do want to get rid of your metadata, there's an option in the Lightroom export.
So here we have here.
There you go.
ISO
64.
Focal length, aperture, where you were at the time, what you were wearing, when you last got your hair dyed,
credit card, social security.
So I think Facebook actually wipes this.
Do they?
I think they wipe it before which is a whole scandal. Anyways,
issues.
It's not so crazy. So here I just go to file info, but it's embedded. It's basically embedded in the file, in the JPEG, in the photo.
This is just, I just want to say it's this, this is a smart picture. The first thing I look is the shutter speed, and I see that she's shooting on a shutter speed of 1/400. It's very smart. With a picture like this, she has in mind, she's capturing the action. And even here, 1/400, it could still be a little faster.
Yeah, I would have guessed
get
less because there's something not sharp. Maybe we can bring this up.
Can we zoom in here? We'll do a little.
There's something not sharp, and maybe it's just focus. But I find
it looks like it's a little front focusing.
It's definitely this isn't like tack sharp, the bird, which is a shame. Obviously, super difficult to do that. But
especially with the cheaper cameras,
we're just critiquing here. But the focus doesn't seem to be tack sharp on anything, so I'm not sure if it's.
Looked like she was really swinging this camera around to grab this shot.
I think she was.
We spent almost 5 minutes
flying.
on this first photo.
I think she was flying with the bird.
And one of the ways that real pro photographers get these kind of shots, they shoot with the expensive cameras, the 1D, the Nikon D3, D4.
Yeah, I mean, you need like a super telephoto lens.
And they're just burst shooting on, AI servo or continuous focus.
Yeah, obviously, we're critiquing for the sake of critiquing. We're not saying.
We understand if you don't have, $7,000 to.
Yeah, we're understanding that maybe sometimes you can't get the shot that really ideally it would be. Sometimes,
Correct.
Especially if you're like shooting this with a phone, like this is an amazing shot.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that this is even 1/400 because I noticed the blur. So I was attributing it at first to a slower shutter speed, but 1/400 should at least freeze this part of the action. It should at least freeze the middle part. Maybe not the wings.
Right.
Maybe that would still, you need to amp that up to like
Right.
1 over, I don't know, 1,000. It depends on the bird.
Well done. Excellent.
And anything else?
Next, great.
Here that
We're ready to move on. Congratulations
congratulations.
to Bridget Maggie.
I'm not ready to move on. I critiqued this last time. I'm just gonna say it again. I just feel like it just needs a bump.
A bump, maybe a little
I could
contrast
even-
bump.
a
There
little
you go.
bit of
Give me a
contrast.
little more shadows. A
A little bit more.
Yeah, drop them down. Drop
Oh,
them down.
look at that.
Bring me some
More?
contrast. More.
No, that's a bit
Yeah,
much.
there you
Yeah?
go. I mean, it becomes a personal preference.
You're
at this
crazy.
Point. Well,
But I mean, just look at the difference between this and this. Now, I don't know how much you're able to see that after the compression on the YouTube and the whatnots and the interwebs, but I've done nothing. Again, this is a curves adjustment layer. You have this available. You don't need Photoshop for this. There are other. Even on my Android
Picasso,
phone,
yeah.
I have a curves option. But it could also, this is also essentially brightness and contrast. What we did was we just amped a little bit of brightness and then added a little bit of contrast by darkening the blacks here. But look at the difference. I mean, this is like just a gray kind of monotone. It's a little bit dull. It's a little bit dingy. And this just pops it out. And suddenly the bird, and even the bird looks sharper even.
yeah.
So good for you, bird. Bridget, beautiful, really beautiful shot there. So this is Sheldon Marshall. He's actually based in Barbados.
Barbados.
Yeah, we have a Barbados contingency.
Wow.
Hopefully, I'll
It's one of the native models.
I'll fly over there and
Beautiful lens flare. by the
lead a
way.
photo walk.
I love it.
This is great. I love this. This is beautiful.
Great composition. You know, beautiful rule of thirds. There's a lot of movement. Nice oval shape. Excellent. Well done. I can't think of anything to improve in this one. I feel like it was just nailed 100%.
Wow, nothing to improve. Obviously, you have blown out highlights over here on your top left, which means whites that are just much too white that there's no way you can recover. But it's intentional, you know. I
And it
think,
works.
and
It
it
works.
works.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that there has been a wrong. Someone has been wronged here.
There is one thing I do want to mention though, and it's not necessarily in regards to the photography, but I feel like Sheldon, this is an amazing picture, but I just feel like your watermark doesn't do you justice.
Oh, that's interesting. We could talk about the watermark.
Yeah, not that it's a big deal, but if you're gonna do it, I feel like, you know, it has to match the level of your photography, which seems to be amazing here. You know, go and make yourself a nice little logo, drop it in Lightroom.
Yeah, the font is a bit is a bit generic, and the copyright I think is redundant. I don't
Yeah.
know if that really does anything legally.
It's not gonna do anything at all.
And it at this stage, maybe like 10 years ago, it was like important. At this stage, when you have a copyright symbol, it's like the opposite. It's like, well, you're clearly not professional.
I also get the same feeling actually when I see the copyright symbol.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
see
like
that.
an anti-professional.
Right, because I don't think it's relevant, but I definitely get the
Yeah.
logic. I definitely had a copyright when I first started. Yeah, maybe something like maybe just a little logo, a little color.
Interesting fonts.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you
Shape
mentioned
sense.
that because a watermark is a part of this photo. You know,
just
whether
become
you
part
want it
of
or
the
not.
photo, right? Okay.
Moving
take it away.
along, this is Rachel Gomorrah. I believe this was taken in Jerusalem, Israel.
Certainly looks like it.
So the one thing that shoots out at me like boom is that the darks, the blacks here are just completely crushed. And unfortunately, I couldn't even show you a tweak if I wanted to in Photoshop, because if I took this and brought this up, it's so crushed that it's just going to stay that way. That data is lost. There's no adjustment that you can make. Maybe if you shot in RAW, you can bring that up. Again, it could be intentional. It could be, subjective. That's how you wanted it, but it's you have to pay attention to your contrast. I personally like to amp my contrast in black and white, but there is a law of diminishing returns, and I think here it's too extreme.
Well said. Law of diminishing returns. That's absolutely true.
Thank you.
This is an amazing way to describe photography. Okay, I just want to say, love it.
This is amazing.
Shy,
This
well
is
done.
absolutely amazing. Every time I look at this, I fear that my monitor has cracked. I hope this shows up as nicely on YouTube. And this is just phenomenal. Just the clarity. And what we have here is intention. And this, I think, this rule can be applied to so much of photography where he's showing us what he wants us to what he wants us to see, and taking out all other distraction. So literally, he's, right there very clearly, meaning you can apply this to a rule where you have a subject, you're directing right to the whether it's via composition, framing, or lighting, and taking away the distraction, which could be neutralizing your background, blurring your background.
Sure.
But this is it's just beautiful. It's just a real intentional, clear, beautiful photo. And I actually told Shai personally that I want to put this on my wall.
It's definitely amazing. Well done. I feel like there's nothing to say. Just you nailed it.
Nailed it. Do you think it looks like California? I know you're from California.
A little bit. Yeah, it does actually. Wait, does Shai get the $1 million?
Shai, no, we already gave the $1 million to the Salt Shaker guy.
Sorry, Shai.
Matt Rides.
Wow, check out this guy. Look at that
budget.
texture.
This is cool. Yeah, this is definitely cool. Very processed.
Okay.
And I like it. Process doesn't have to be bad.
It's just about the final result.
I don't think, if you overdo it. And I think this is kind of
we got a little maybe
overdoing it.
Well, if we zoom into, let's say, the top branch over there. Yeah, right there. That's higher. Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, so just to show, and this is something I think that is not on people's radars that they should really pay attention to. When you're doing processing, especially with contrast, and HDR work is a lot of contrast, you will start that law of diminishing returns that we're talking about. You will start getting what's called a halo.
Yes.
Which is an outline, this white outline around, and you can see you can see right here very clearly. It goes all the way around. This one actually doesn't bother me that much because it seems to be very thin. A very thin.
Still, I feel like it's still there though.
Here it's a bit, maybe a bit more.
And one good way to kind of get rid of that is just go into Photoshop and make a selection with the magic wand tool or something like this, and just expand or subtract the selection by 1 or 2 pixels, and then very easily you can come with a clone stamping tool and just get rid of it. That's an excellent approach.
Oh, okay. Well, Yirmi will give us a tutorial on that. That I didn't know.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
What I say is when I start seeing haloing in my processing, I just dial it back. I say, okay, I've gone too far. And that's it. When you have a high contrast scene and you're just amping up the contrast more, you're going to get it. Like there's only so much data that your program is working with. And it doesn't look good. You may not see it because it's not on your radar at this level, but once you see it, you'll always see it.
Yeah, and it's taking away from the realism.
Yeah, and it's always an indication that you've gone too far.
Come back.
Dial it back.
Come back. But the texture in the tree is amazing.
Yeah, and I really like the processing here. I think it's intentional, and I think it's beautiful. I think there's a time and a place, and I think he nailed it.
There's a lot of thinking going on.
Mazal, Baruchov.
Very nice.
I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I don't think I've said these names out loud before. Usually I just read them.
Okay. I feel like we should just say Ryan's wife.
This is
we both know Ryan.
Yes. I don't think she would be happy saying this, referring to her as Ryan's wife. Zipporah Lifshitz. This is gorgeous. I'm really taken by this photo.
It's very interesting. Can we pull up that metadata again? Because, it's interesting. We got a lot of, we zoom in close. We got some compression going on, but there is a little bit of motion blur here. Normally I feel like it takes away, but here I just feel like it really adds to this motion of the shot.
Well, right. We're looking at a long shutter, right? How do you know this? Well, first of all, we're getting that nice smoke that's going all the way up, which is probably the main intention of the long shutter. And we're also getting, look at this background. This person, we see their movement.
A lot of thinking.
And the subject, if you look at her hair, she seems to be very still. You're saying on the face, you're seeing some blur.
I'm just used to seeing things lit with flash so much. I'm used to seeing the action much more.
So flash would have frozen this action. Yeah. You're saying this looks like a naturally lit. We can confirm a long shutter. Let's see. We'll just go to file info. And again,
wait, take a guess before you see. Let's see if you can guess.
Oh man. Okay. Well, if she as frozen as she is, I'm gonna say no more than 1/20.
1/20. I think maybe I'll go for a quarter.
For a quarter, you're crazy. That's 1/20. That's
0.6. Even
0.6.
Slower than a quarter.
Really?
Yeah.
What's 0.6 in Canon language?
Well, that's the way the camera works. It goes from a quarter, and then it goes to 0 parenthesis, or what they call those apostrophe 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's really slow.
So it's a bit slow.
I am impressed that your subject stayed as still as she did.
And this is such an amazing...
That's all I have to say.
If we take a look at the lens, again, we're talking about gear. This shows what you can do with a little bit of knowledge. You know, she's shooting with the kit lens here, and she's still getting amazing results.
All right, you see what kind of lens. That's brilliant.
Yeah, well done.
All right, I think that's we're out of time. I think we're gonna have to make a part 3.
Part 3.
What do you say? You ready for 15 minutes more?
Well, let's we
have a couple more amazing photos, so
we'll just bust them out next time.
We're gonna run through. Yeah, part 3 will be like rapid fire critique work.
Bam.
So thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
As always, you can check 52frames.com for our amazing weekly photographic challenge extravaganza project, or just 52 frames for short. And check out Vann Visuals to see some of Yirmi's amazing work. And if you're in the Jerusalem area, definitely check out his course. He's an amazing teacher as well. Thank you very much for joining us, and keep shooting.